Digwit and welcome back to the channel. It's me, Seamus, here with you again, and today we're going to talk about anxiety. Now, I've done a previous video on stress, which may be worth your time checking out if this area is of interest to you. We looked at how stress can be both positive and negative. We looked at some symptoms that may show up that you're experiencing stress and some tips on how to deal with it. So it may be worth your time checking out that video, and I'll link it at the end of this one. Now, you may or may not know this, but the main reason that we get anxious is that our brains are actually trying to protect us. When we're faced with a dangerous situation, our brain prepares us for action, fight or flight. However, spending too much time in this state of preparedness can wear out your body and your mind. The extra energy provided from being anxious is great when we are in danger. However, your brain will often interpret uncertainty as danger, and this can be a problem. Not knowing what's happening next is not necessarily a bad thing. But you see, the brain thinks that it is, so if it turns out to be a bad thing, your brain will be ready to spring into action to save you. Our brain's attempt to preemptively protect us can make us feel anxious. And this is especially true today, where our world has become a very unfamiliar and uncertain place due to the COVID-19 pandemic. So much has changed for us, creating this huge sense of uncertainty. We have never experienced something like this before. And we're still adjusting to the many changes going on in the world. Even as things are returning to normal now, you may be feeling anxious about things you never even thought twice about pre-COVID. Maybe it's going to the cinema, maybe it's going to school, or maybe it's even just riding a bus. Our brains have kept us safe over the past year and a half, avoiding these places, and now we're being told that everything is safe. Naturally, our brains are going to be wary and may even be anxious about returning to normal. If you do feel anxious about going to places where large crowds are now, that's okay. Your brain is just doing its best to protect you. And it can be pretty frustrating when you feel like you're the only person who feels that way, but you're not. A lot of people are feeling anxious about the world returning to normal. It's just that some people are better at hiding it than others. Personally, knowing my anxiety about going to the cinema is actually my brain protecting me gives me some assurance. I'm not wrong for feeling this way. There is nothing wrong with me. This is my natural response to being told for over a year that going to the cinema is unsafe. However, just because it's natural, it doesn't mean that it's ideal to feel anxious all the time. And next week I'll go into more detail and share new tips with you. In the meantime, when you get anxious, just remind yourself that this is your brain trying to protect you. And so far, it's done a pretty good job. Bye.